Yes.
I'm afraid we've really run out of time, but go ahead.
Yes, just a few thoughts on the reflections on Macedonia. Probably we are still keeping the title of patience gurus in terms of Euro integration processes. Not for, well, probably for a number of reasons, but one related, and the essential one related to the fact that we have a member state that is consistently blocking our Euro-Atlantic integration process. Few challenges that are related to that. One, we say Europe is a family where rule of law is extremely important. In our case, that hasn't been applied. Number two, I think that strict but fair is an extremely important aspect of the enlargement. I cannot agree more with everybody who has mentioned that everything we've done in terms of reforms, justice, public administration, very important reform that we are running. Thanks to the high-level accession dialogue, we've done things that someone would have never thought that would have been achievable in Macedonia in the context that we are living in and the environment that we're having. However, Serbia and Kosovo are in much better position to strike a deal because they're both outside of the club. And I think that there the European perspective can provide a viable incentive to resolve it. It does not work when you have a member state in the club. Clearly, a member state can completely ignore even internationally undertaken engagements. Greece has violated the interim agreement from '95, and it has on its web page still saying that ICJ court ruling is pending 1.5 years after the ICJ said that it was illegal blocking Macedonian Euro-Atlantic integrations. So we have to live with that reality. One risk that I think that we have to consider as Europeans is that the entire enlargement process produces constructive members of the European Union and not frustrated member states. Because producing frustrated member states that will reflect on the positions that they will win once they're in the club will inevitably go with frustrated people in the countries that are on the way to join the European Union. And I think that this is something that everybody wants to avoid. It is most probably related to the question of a gentleman back there on what can be the implications of rights for Serbs, Northern Kosovo, Albanians in Macedonia and other countries, etc. I think that we have to stick to what Europe is about. Again, rule of law. We have a set of principles that we have fixed. One of them also is that every single state should care about all the citizens. I'm a big fan of individual rights, as Mr. Zurinda has mentioned, and I think that a country that cannot secure individual rights across the board, religious, ethnic, linguistic, you name it, political, etc., is not a functional democracy. That's number one. But the other extreme is that everything is extrapolated by exercising pressure on collective rights and then trying to play a card on nationalistic feelings, reshaping the Balkans, etc. The only solution that we have in that respect, credible enlargement process. And credible enlargement process involves member states, so please kill us if we don't deliver on reforms, but credible member state decision-making process also, please deliver when we have delivered. And Macedonia is 5 years late on that file. And I think that their responsibility lays within both sides, and especially within one member state that has always used its credits to find excuses why not to grant Macedonia start of accession negotiations. This is what we're talking about for the last 5 years.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm afraid that we've run out of time. I'm going to suggest that you mention websites. It seems to me that perhaps if there could be a slogan put on a website, it would be yours, Mr. Fuller, on your enlargement website. Perhaps you could borrow from Nike their slogan and put "Just do it" at the bottom of on the top of your website. Would that sum up what you're trying to say? Just do it.
It would, and actually very appropriately, because we're talking about these issues and sometimes frustrated they are not moving, not because we lack strategy. We have strategy. Right? It's not because we don't have instrument. We have instrument. We have the Commission being created. We have sort of the new streamlined accession process. And we have, third point, we have the commitment of the member states. Despite the crisis, it's actually unbelievable If you look at the language again of the December European Council, the language the language referring to the opening of accession negotiations with your country, with your country, you know, the language is there, the commitment is there. What is not there is, you know, just to do it.
I think on that note, we should end. Just do it. Okay.